Check. Pay me in equity. Woo! Woo! If y'all didn't hear that new hot fire, and I love Jay-Z, and I definitely love Beyonce. So for today's finance video, I'm going to break down what that one line truly means, because I really feel like people out there don't truly understand the magnitude behind that whole line in that first sentence. Give me my check or pay me in equity. So, to break it down, I'm your boy, Mr. Davis, aka the Trans Capitalist, all things about money and teaching y'all how to get your money game up. So basically, equity, to put it in layman terms, the simplest form is ownership. So she's basically saying that if you can't afford to pay me, then pay me in equity, aka ownership. So that means any business that you have or any project that you have, if you cannot afford Beyonce, which most people cannot do within the world, the best option that she's giving to you, or aka payment of method, is giving her a piece of that pie, a piece of your pie, aka equity that you can grow together, build off. So another quick example of that is to say, like, I have this business that's doing very well, right? And my business is basically valued at, like, we'll just do small numbers, like $100,000, right? So if I want Beyonce to help me with this business, or even do a sponsorship, like anything to get Beyonce's name to just bless my business or anybody's things, like she said, like she can make you famous in one night. Basically, the only payment I can do to afford her is definitely offering her equity. Now, the great benefits about equity is now Beyonce owns a part of my business. So instead of just being one owner of my business, now I have two. Beyonce's in it. If Jay-Z wants to be a part of it and he's also a separate entity, now that's three owners in the business. So anything that the business does money-wise, if it's doing well or even tanking as well, she gets a profit. So people, we really need to start learning, and this is that the knowledge and the game that they're trying to awaken us within underprivileged communities, is that start getting these people, higher ups 1%, to recognize our name, our brands, our media influence, social influence, culture, and start charging them in equity, all right? So if they want a piece of it, hey, you gotta give us that piece of the pie. Basically. So, for example, if my business started valuing at like $100,000, and thanks to Beyonce, now we're doing $1 million in like revenue and sales, and determining how much equity she wants. If it's Beyonce, technically I'm gonna go 50-50, because I still have built this business up to a certain point, but Beyonce has joined the team and she's helping me. So hey, now she has half of the business. So now in that 1 million, she gets 500,000, I get 500,000. But whatever the business continues to grow to, she will forever have that piece of that company until the contract has like a termination or a deadline or any point. But people need to understand the magnitude of equity. Equity is also used in forms of stock and bonds. Basically, like a stock is that you have a small piece of equity within that company that they gave out to you, that I purchased as a stock. So now as the stock and the company keeps growing and they give back dividends, which is actually another form for like thanking you for buying our stock. So now I'm still getting a little bit more money on my investment as well. That now I have stock, I have a piece of equity, and I have a piece of ownership within that business. To even put it in like other rap terms, this is why Jay-Z also says and started his own Rock Nation, his own label, his own music company, and just has a distribution with Atlantic and others, is that now the music business, which they usually do to a lot of young rappers, but a lot of people are waking up, becoming independent. But before, the game was horrible. Basically, you would have to go to that music company, and whatever music you were creating, projects, it was the companies. And you didn't even have equity. It's like they just paid you for that project, or aka that album. So say if you're Jay-Z at the first point, or you're a rapper yourself, and your song is hitting, going crazy, doing like platinum, 100 million sales and everything, you never got a piece of that. All you got was a small portion that they paid you once. So say if the music company off of your album made like $100 million and they only gave you like 2 to 4 million, don't get me wrong, 2 to 4 million is great. But what you created, and they did nothing but distribution, now they have what, the 96 million that they made off of you. So this is why Jay-Z and Beyonce are trying to inform us and flip the game and understand of how much you're worth, how much to pay yourself in equity, and make sure you get that ownership for all creative freedom and projects that you do. So even if you're an artist, you're a business, or anything that's project that's making money or revenue, pay attention to your equity, okay? Because you have to start off having equity. Now, unless you go to another platform like Netflix or another company like Fox or something, and they hired you and now you're making this stuff for you, make sure you read that contract. Make sure you understand where your ownership and your equity value is going to, because they can either, what they usually do and used to take advantage of a lot of us, is to hold on to all that money and you get a tiny small piece of the pie. And then when you go broke, they're still making more money off of you in the future, and you're not going to make that Forbes list no matter how hot, no matter how poppin', no matter how great you are, because at the end of the day, they owned your equity and not you. So at the end of the day, thank you for paying attention, and remember, equity equals ownership. Get paid in equity, okay? And also remember, I do financial consulting with businesses, especially in underprivileged communities, queer, minority, wherever. If you have a business, remember you're starting off with your equity and your ownership. And when you get acquired, or if you have another business who's interests you with a higher platform, make sure you retain your equity, okay? I will go deeper into it later, but please enjoy these examples. Please make sure that you enjoy the song. And also remember, if you like this video, please like. If you learned something, please drop a comment. Let me know if you learned something, if you want more of these, and definitely share it throughout the world and understand, because I will be doing more business, hip-hop, and other related examples. So enjoy. Have a nice day. This is Mr. Davis, aka the Trans Capitalist, because I make sure I get paid in equity. Make sure you do too. Get it.